Welcome to the CHL Top 10 show presented by Kia. I'm Scott Van Kunit. And this week I talked to one of the most prolific defenders in the CHL and the longest current active point streak holder from the QMJHL. First, LA Kings defenseman Brandt Clarke tells us about being sent back to the OHL, his relationship to Drew Doughty, and what it's like being mentioned in NHL trade chatter and breaking a 25-year-old Colts franchise record. Then, Seattle Kraken prospect Jacob Melanson tells us about going to a contender in Sherbrooke, why he's had so much success, and what the Phœnix need to do in order to have a long playoff run. When I first met the eighth overall pick from the 2021 NHL draft, Brandt Clarke, his then minor midget coach from the Don Mills Flyers, Mark Slauson, described him not as a defenseman, but an offenseman. 4 years later, having made stops in the NHL, AHL, and World Juniors, Clarke is reaching new heights with his Barrie Colts, scoring 12 goals and 39 points in just 22 games so far. Here's Brandt Clarke. My first guest today has been racking up the frequent flyer miles this season, starting with the LA Kings, then the Ontario Reign and Team Canada, and now back with one of the hottest teams in the OHL, riding a 4-game win streak. It's Barrie Colts captain Brandt Clarke. Brandt, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having me on here.
Really excited to talk to you. It's nice seeing you back in the OHL, but you've been back for 22 games. I know obviously everybody wants to be in the NHL, and the end goal is to be there. But how has it been being back in Barrie this year?
It's been nice. I'm happy to be with my friends again. I didn't really get to finish off the season last year. I got injured and got flown out to LA to have surgery and everything. So I never really got to say goodbye to anybody or anything like that. So I thought I was just gonna not see most of those guys ever again. But I got to come back here to a strong group, to a really talented group, and join them for the playoff run and try to and be a big contributor on the back end. So it's been fun. I'm really close friends with all these guys on this team, and we have a really strong core in that locker room. So I'm happy to be a part of it, and I'm looking forward to what the next couple of months hold here.
Well, we'll get into more about the Colts in a couple of minutes, but I just want to, we'll start with the Kings and maybe being sent down. At what point did you find out that they were going to send you back to Barrie?
I actually didn't really know all the way throughout the World Juniors. I kind of figured out like January 6th, like gold medal game was January 5th. We were kind of flying back to our places January 6th, and I got a call from Rob saying, asking me if I could like reroute my flights back to Ottawa. So I went back to Ottawa for a couple of days, still kind of in the dark, didn't know if I was going to go back to LA, back to Barrie or whatever it was. But then he called me, kind of told me what their thought process was, told me that he thinks it's good for me to go back to Barrie, be a big contributor on this team, and join them again next year. And I understood that. He's really thorough with me, and he's a great person, and so I respect his decision 100%. I think they didn't tell me before. They didn't really want me to my mind to like kind of differ from the World Juniors. They wanted all my attention on that. They didn't really want me to think about where I'm going after. They just wanted me to have all my attention on winning the gold with Canada, and that's what we did. So yeah, I appreciate everything the Kings did for me. The 3 months I was with them. Yeah, I treasured those moments. They were really special, and I made a lot of friends on that team. I still text a lot of those guys all the time. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting back with them in September, and that's where I want to be for the next like 15 years or so. So I'm really happy to be part of that organization.
Is it an easier pill to swallow when it's coming from a guy like Rob Blake, who's done it all at the NHL level?
I think it's an easier pill to swallow because I think the whole staff, top to bottom, was still supports me. I still get texts from the D coach Trent Yanni all the time. They're still watching over me. They're still caring about how I'm doing. They still know that they want me to be a big piece of their future, and that makes me feel really good. So I have my full faith in them. That whatever they think's best for my development, best to put me in the best situation to succeed over the next decade. I'm going to listen to them 100%, and they haven't, done me wrong in any way up to now. So why would I never thought to not trust what they say. So that's kind of what I did. And like I said, I'm happy to be back with my friends here in Barrie, happy to be on a championship run here, and going to do what I can, but as soon as the season's over, my mind switches back to being an LA King next September. And I'm really looking forward to that.
Well, we're coming up on the NHL trade deadline, and there's been a flurry of activity already. I know you're probably watching all the news. Is it a little bit nerve-wracking for a high-end prospect like you, or have you talked to the team and they said, don't worry about it, like you're not going anywhere? just focus on your game right now?
I think I'm in a pretty funny situation, to be honest with you. um, there was a lot of rumblings around me being traded, and I didn't hear anything on the contrary from that. So I was for like a good 3 hours or so there. I thought I was dealt, and I wasn't. I don't want to say I was happy or sad. I was kind of just answering texts and telling my parents what I think was going on. But I wanted to be an LA King, and then if I was just kind of listening to what they were saying, and I wasn't really getting any input from either side. I was kind of in the dark a little bit. But then Rob reached out again and kind of cleared the air. He's like, people are gonna talk, people are gonna say stuff online, but we want you here, we want you in LA. You're gonna be a King for a long time, and so don't, people may say stuff online, but you're gonna be with us for a long time, and that made me feel really good. So yeah, they did reach out, and like I said, I think I wasn't a really, kind of interesting situation there. It was a hot topic for a bit, especially in the hockey world. But I was really grateful that they reached out to me, cleared the air, and made me feel even more welcome than I already was. So like I said, I have the utmost praise for the whole Kings organization, top to bottom. They have made me feel so good since the moment I've been an LA Kings. So it's really special to be a part of that organization.
Well, it must put your mind at ease knowing that, you don't have to worry about that. You can, just focus on becoming a better hockey player. Speaking of becoming a better hockey player, how much did you improve getting just to practice alongside, play alongside a guy like Drew Doughty for the time that you were up in LA?
Um, a lot, of course. You just, your eyes light up when you see him, especially being a young defenseman like I am. The first thing I wanted as soon as I became an LA King, I wanted to be on the ice with Drew Doughty. I wanted to see him just in practice. I wanted to see him in the locker room, and I can say that, like, I'm like friends with him now. He still texts me a lot. We still joke around. He gives it to me sometimes, but in like the best way. And I like to pick his brain. He really knows how to like have a good time and make the room feel light when it's the time to do that. And he really knows how to dial it in, be the most focused guy and ready to go when it's game time. And he logs a lot of minutes and he does it so well. And it's really something to marvel at. He's done that for 13, 14 years now, won multiple cups, won a Norris trophy. It's kind of remarkable the kind of career he's had. And the fact he takes it all in stride and just, wants to get better, still not really satisfied with anything. He still wants to be the best player on the ice every time he's out there. And it's pretty special. And it's definitely something I can look at to be like, that's what I want to do. I want to hopefully fill his shoes and be at least half the player he can be, because he's been amazing for so long. And it's really cool to, see him on the ice, be skating alongside him, but also just know him personally and know the wisdom he gives me, and also the jokes he gives around time to time. He's been a big help for me, and I'm grateful for him for sure.
What would be your biggest takeaway from Drew from your, few months up there?
I think it's just the preparation. Like I said, he's it's very rare you see someone that can just flip the switch the way he does, and he's just he will be like morning skate and stuff like that. He's kind of relaxed, he's kind of saving his energy, and he's joking around when we're playing soccer pregame and stuff like that. But somehow as soon as his gear's on, he's just like a soldier pretty much. It's pretty remarkable. And I sometimes try to I ask him after, I'm like, how do you do that? That's just the way he's built though. And it's pretty impressive. And I try to, I like this, just stuff that he's taught me, stuff that Edler's taught me, just all Kopitar, all those guys. I try to bring it back to these guys and this team, that I know that there's times to, we want to have a great locker, and we want to have enjoy ourselves and everyone happy at the rink. But there's also time that we need to settle in. We need to get the 2 points, and that's why that core has won 2 cups and been so successful. And that's just that's kind of what I see now, and I know what it's going to take to do stuff like that in the future.
Yeah. So how has your leadership role changed? Obviously you were captain last year as well, but when you come back and you've seen what those guys do, how have you changed how you are in your locker room in Barrie?
Um, I feel like I was kind of just trying to figure it out alongside everyone last year. I was kind of learning the ropes. I was kind of, being the captain, but being still like a middle-aged guy. I was still trying to like figure it out from the older guys and stuff like that. But I was still I didn't really sometimes not know what to say to the younger guys. They'd ask me stuff, and I sometimes I wouldn't really know what to say. But just being around those guys, the wisdom they give off, even the staff in LA, Luke Robitaille is always walking around. You can ask him whatever. He's one of the most talkative guys in the building every time he's there. So just the stuff like that, just stuff that anything I'm curious about. There's so many options that have done so much in the hockey world that I could go to, and it's definitely checked off a lot of things that I was curious about or worried about or anything like that, and now I can give that wisdom to the younger guys here, and I think they're appreciative of that too. So I think that's the kind of leadership that I've brought since I've been back here, and I think like I said, I think the guys are grateful for that, and I'm really appreciative that I can do that for them.
What did Drew, what was his kind of message to you when you got sent back? He found out, or when you found out, like when the first time you guys chatted back and forth after that?
Yeah, he called me a couple days after it. Actually, they were on the road at the time, but he called me a couple days after, and he was he was saying he didn't expect that. Honestly, he thought I was there for the year. I thought, from all things accounts, that I was there for the year, but he said just do your thing. He's like he said you've obviously learned a lot while you're out here. You can give, like he also said kind of what I said, you can help the younger guys that are around there, and you're going to be back here soon, and you're going to be back here for a while, but for the time being, go dominate, go do your thing, and go enjoy yourself. And he said junior hockey's the most fun time he had in his career, and he said just go for 3 more months, go do that and enjoy it, have a good summer, and be back here with us in the lineup next year. And I said, and I agreed with him. I said that's where my head's at. I'm not going to take this as a negative. I'm going to take this as a positive. Go play, log a lot of minutes on this blue line, help the team out, go on a playoff run, and see where it takes us, and then be an LA King in the 2023-2024 season.
And obviously, you got a chance to represent Canada at the World Juniors. You've played at the U18s and you won gold there. But what was it like out in Halifax for you, getting to especially getting to play with 2 of your good friends in Shane Wright and Brennan Othman, a couple of former minor midget teammates, being out there all together for that?
It was really special, just that whole environment. We were really thankful for the whole Maritime crowd. They obviously wanted something like that for so long, and they really showed it. Right through the pre-tournament games, even the U Sport games, they were packing the building. The pre-tournament games in Moncton, they were packing the building, just being so loud. They all had signs, they all had flags. It was really cool. And then getting to Halifax, it's almost like something I never really experienced. Like, I obviously had a couple of NHL games, but just the passion the crowd had, the involvement, that US game, the gold medal game, the building would like shake when we scored. It was not something like I've never been a part of in my life. And yeah, it was just, that was something that I'll definitely remember for the rest of my life, really. And one of the most memorable hockey moments I'll ever have. And just to do it alongside 2 of my buddies, and Shane and Brennan, guys that I've done so much with, guys that I'm going to be best friends with for the rest of my life. It was really special to do that with them, but not just them. I feel like my relationships grew with everyone on that team. I'm still tight with everyone on that team. We had such a good coherent group in the locker room, and we were all really tight. And I think that's what propelled us to gold. Even you look at us going in the locker room 2-2 in the gold medal game. We were just the belief in each other I think is what pushed us over the top. Knowing that the guy down the bench is going to do his job if you do your job, and I think that's why we came out on top. And that's, like I said, it's something that I'm going to remember for a really long time. And just really grateful for that whole experience.
Speaking of Shane, obviously you guys are in similar situations this year, kind of in and out of the lineup, and both coming back to the OHL. How often did you guys talk throughout the year and just, kind of relate to each other?
A lot, I think. I feel like he actually was in Barrie maybe a month ago now. We went out for dinner the night before we played here, and then we talked after the game too. Just what it was like to adjusting back to OHL. Being back with the younger guys. He's in a whole new he's in a whole new team too, so he had to adjust to that as well. But he's like, we kind of had the same mindset. We kind of talked like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna help our teams out as much as we can. We're gonna be the best players we can be. And then when summertime comes, our minds are focused back on being NHL players again, because, that's the life we want to live. That's that's where we want to be for, that's the drive we both have to succeed. So I think we both are in the same mindset right now, and we're both not taking this as a negative, and we're both just gonna do the best we can for as long as this season goes on, and then we're gonna come into camp ready to go.
Well, since you've been back with the Colts, you guys have been on fire. You're 15-5-2 since you rejoined the team. You've got 12 goals and 39 points in just 22 games, which is, kind of ridiculous. You're shooting a lot more too this year. So how have you changed, or what has been like maybe the biggest adjustment for you coming back from NHL and AHL and World Juniors to the OHL level?
Um, I don't know. I feel like my confidence is really high, not in like a egotistical way, but just in a belief way that I feel like I was playing against the top players in the world in the NHL, and I was holding my own. I was still making good plays, still making good breakout passes, still getting shots through from the point. It's that realizing that I could do that it was like an eye opener to me that this is definitely I belong here, I can fit in here, and I'm ready to go. And so knowing that I did that there, knowing that I played well in Ontario with the rain, I felt that boosted my confidence even more. And then coming back here, I just I didn't want us to take a step in the wrong direction. It's obviously not the competition of the NHL, but I didn't want to lower my play. I wanted to play like I was playing there. I wanted to play with the confidence that I was playing there with. And so I didn't want to go take a step back or anything like that. Like that's the one thing, Rob, Trent, Todd all told me when I got set back is, we don't want you taking any steps back. We want you to be good 200-foot player. We want you to produce, and we want you to like pretty much, like not take a step back and just keep progressing. And that's what I think I've been doing. And I'm really proud that I've been a contributor so far. But it's going to be even a step more up when we get to the playoff time. And that's what I'm excited for. And like I said, I'm going to do what I can to just keep progressing and keep doing what I do.
11 goals last year, 12 goals already this year. You're top 10 in goals already for defensemen, and you've played about 30 less games than almost everybody else. Did Coach Marty Williamson say, "Hey, I want to see you shooting more this year"?
I don't know if we ever had that particular conversation. I think he just he said, we need you to be a big contributor here. We need you to funnel pucks to the net. We need you to, be the fourth wave pretty much, be the fourth guy joining the rush. And, you just have the belief in yourself that, you're not going to turn it over, just stuff like that. I don't know really. We never really discussed getting more goals or anything like that. It was kind of just play the way I play and funnel pucks to the net, something that they've just gone through and they've gone in, and I'm happy about that. I'm happy to be producing, but I don't say I'm forcing anything by any means. I just think letting it come to me and picking my spots when it's there. And I'm happy to already surpass my goal total from last year. That's kind of funny, but I don't think I'm forcing it. I'm just letting it come to me and picking the corners when they're there.
Well, the bounces are obviously going your way, including on January 29th in Saginaw when you scored your first career hat trick. I know two of them were 200-foot empty netters, but it's still a hat trick and 4 points in the final 10 minutes of the game. Just kind of take me through that game and what it was like to score a hat trick.
Yeah, that was a funny game because it was the final game of 3-3. It was a long road trip. We were all the way in Saginaw. We hit Kitchener, then we hit Flint, and we were in Saginaw. I actually had my teeth knocked out in Kitchener, so it was a kind of a rough weekend. I don't know. I had the bubble on and everything, and obviously you could see the tired legs in our team. The first two periods, we were down 1-0 after two. We were getting outshot like 30-14 or something like that. It was definitely not our best performance, but we were in the locker room saying like, hey, we came all the way out here. We did all this, let's just find it. We had 4 days or something after that. I said, I was talking in the dressing room. Our leadership group was talking in the dressing room. We said, let's just find it. We got a lot more to give. And, we got a long trip after this to recover. So let's go for these 20 minutes and just play the best hockey we can play. And, I started us off with a goal, and then Braska got us a late one on the power play. And then I I buried a couple long ice empty netters, but yeah, that was a good game for us. I think that was a big confidence booster for our team, knowing that even when we were down, even when we were tired, we could still have the will in that dressing room and the belief in each other that we could pull it off. And yeah, I think that was definitely a stepping stone in our season that we realized, Saginaw is a strong team, and even if when we don't have our best, we can recoup, we can just take a deep breath and get back to our style, and that's what we did. And yeah, I think that was a really big game for us.
Yeah, how big is it for some of the other guys in the room that, have been there all year and just seeing, the impact that and the confidence that you bring to the roster and, things are different now with the Colts.
I think it means a lot to them. I think they appreciate, just the style that I'm playing, the production that I'm bringing to the team. I think they I don't know if what they were expecting, to be honest with you. I never really asked them or anything like that, but I think they knew I was going to be a big contributor like that. And they put a lot of weight and belief in me. And I don't feel like I've let them down yet at any point in the season. And I'm happy about that. And I don't want to let them down. I want them to have the most trust in me because I have the most trust in my teammates, whether it's the first line guys or the fourth line guys, bearing down, getting pucks out and shutting down their top players. So I have belief in them. They have belief in me. And I think that's why we're such a good group. I think that's why we're on such a good run right now. And, we're heating up at the right time. This is when you want to be, this is when you want to hit your peak, roll into the playoffs. And this is, that's what we're doing. So like I said, I'm pretty happy to be part of this club right now.
Last weekend was a big weekend for you guys. You break the franchise record for points by defenseman with your 135th career point. What does that mean to you?
Means a lot. It was really special. It was some that the day I was drafted as a rookie, they have the banners up and I'm looking at it right now. Actually, they have the banners up in our rink. That's, the all-time point leader, all-time wins for goalie, all-time points for a season, and all-time points for defenseman. And I said, hopefully I'm up there one day. That's the kind of jolt that I want to have. I've said it kind of jokingly at the time, just hopefully I pull that off. And now to hold that title for this organization's really special. I'm so happy to be a Colts. I wouldn't want to do this anywhere else. And yeah, so just to be that title holder for this organization is something I'm pretty proud of. Something that's hope I'm going to carry with me for a long time. And I'm, like I said, wouldn't rather do this anywhere else. I'm really happy to be a part of this team. I'm really happy to be just be teammates with everyone here. And they all like flooded over the bench when I did it too. They all kind of rolled on the ice, which was a really special moment for me. And it means a lot that they care so much about my personal success. And if any one of them did it too, I'd be the first one to hop over the boards too. I want to see them succeed as well. So it's yeah, like I said, it's just the strong group we have in the locker room, and without them, I definitely wouldn't be able to accomplish anything like this.
And your coach Marty Williamson breaks the record for most wins in franchise history, passing the late Dale Hawerchuk. What did you say to him when the buzzer sounded there? I saw you reached over and shook his hand.
Yeah, I told him I wanted to be the first one to congratulate him. I actually went over like 20 seconds left in the game, and he was kind of laughing about that. But yeah, I walked over to him. I said, you deserve this. This is he's such a great coach. He's such a great person. It's just for him to hold that title now. Obviously Dale's one of his great friends, and Dale's obviously going to be in our hearts forever. But for Marty to hold that title alongside with Dale, they're both so monumental to this organization. It means a lot to have both of them so high up. 300 plus wins for the both of them. It's really cool that they could do so much for this organization. So yeah, I think that was a really cool moment just to see him accomplish that. And he's put in so much work with this organization, and so many guys that have come through here still. Sometimes we have guys like Kyle Clifford and Rich Clune have come back here. They used to coach. They were coached by him in their first tenure, and they just say how impactful he was on their career. And I would say the same, how impactful he's been on my career. So yeah, it was a really special moment for him. And I'm really happy he got to do that with us.
Well, let's shift gears a little bit. Your brother Graham, he got he got called up. Today is Wednesday, so he got called up on Tuesday. Hopefully making his NHL debut tonight, maybe Wednesday night. You might know more, but what did you say to him when you called? I'm assuming you called him.
He actually texted me the day before. It wasn't announced till the Tuesday, but he got the call up to drive down there Monday, and he called me on his road trip, and he told me I was No, I was really happy for him. It was, he deserves it. He absolutely deserves it. He's been killing it this year. He's the hardest worker in the summer. He's been, it's really, I'm really happy to see him finally coming along, and he's producing every night. You see he's almost scoring almost almost every night. It's pretty remarkable down there. So yeah, he definitely deserves it. And I was just so happy for him when I got that call, and yeah, just to see the outpour of support he got online too. People saying that he deserves it. I'm like, yeah, he does. He definitely does. So that was really cool. And I'm not actually sure if he's making his debut tonight. There's he might just be. He's on the road trip with them. They're on a 3-game road trip, so I'm not sure if he's going to be in tonight or in Vegas on Friday. But whichever, I'll be watching all the games for sure. And it's, yeah, like I said, it's just a really cool moment, and he absolutely deserves it. And I'm happy that he gets to be practice alongside them, be on that plane, be in that locker room, because I think he's going to be there for a really long time. So it's good to know that he's starting to make those connections now.
And parents, are they going to make the trip to kind of follow and hopefully see it, or are they tied up at home?
No, that once they get their confirmation that he's in the lineup, they've already said they're going, and hopefully I can go. If it's past this weekend, I'll try to make it out for a Monday or something like that. But they'll definitely be in attendance for sure.
At the end of this month, it's March, so the end of this month, it means it's we're getting close to OHL Cup time. Um, you know, for maybe the people that are watching or listening this, tell them about the OHL Cup, the 2019 OHL Cup. Well, your memories of that when it gets to this time of year.
Yeah, it's the biggest tournament for minor midget. It's the biggest tournament for minor hockey. Pretty much, it's the culmination of minor hockey. It's something we were all looking forward to at the end of the season. It's all the top teams from Ontario and some from the States. All jumbled together in Toronto, and it's a big tournament. And we were I guess the favorites coming in. We had a very strong minor midget team, but yeah, the barns are filled and everything. It felt it was really cool for all of us. But yeah, it was a good tournament. We had a strong group. We ended up making it to the finals, and that was at Maple Leaf Gardens, and that was cool to play there. I'd never been there before actually, so that was cool to go there. And then that was an interesting game. We went down 4-1 in the second period. You could see the faces in the crowd were pretty disheartened. They were, on our side, they were pretty upset. I don't know. I believed all along we were gonna pull it off. I think everyone on that bench believed we were gonna pull it off, and that's exactly what we did. We had a resilient group, and we had a group that there was a reason we were pretty much undefeated all year, because we didn't give up on each other, and that night we didn't give up on each other. We made it 4-3 going into the third, and we tied it 4-4. They eventually made it 5-4 with like 6 minutes left or so, and then we tied it up 5-5 with like 3 minutes left. So it was a pretty wild game, to be honest with you. And then me, Shane, and Othman, Shane and Brennan all connected on the OT winner. I kind of flicked it up to Shane. He went in on 2-on-1 with Brennan, and then Brennan went posting in to seal the deal. So it was a really cool moment. We all flooded on the ice. Like I said, it was at Maple Leaf Gardens. It was a really special moment, and just to do it with that team. I still have a lot of friends on that team. I played on that team for 3 years. The Don Mills team. I'm so happy I got to be a part of that group, and yeah, I don't know. It was really special. It was definitely the best minor hockey moment of my life, and definitely one of the greatest hockey moments of my life still to this day. So it was, yeah, it's going to be fun for these kids going up into this tournament. It's definitely something that lives up to the hype, so it's going to be cool for them.
You guys, like you obviously knew you guys had a good team, and you knew that a lot of you'd be drafted into the OHL. Did you at the time have an inkling that, as we are today, there are 7 of you that are, have rights held by NHL teams? Like that's pretty wild.
It is. It is pretty wild, but I don't know. I feel like we can all credit our success to that Don Mills team. I feel like we had a lot of pressure on us. We were all really high end players, but we learned how to be coherent. Not be grounded. Still be selfless teammates, and still put the team first and everything like that. So you can have all the talent in the world, but if you're not a good teammate, it won't really get you anywhere. If you're selfish, it won't really get you anywhere. And we kind of learned that if we're gonna do this, we have to really be gelled, and that every single night for 85 games or whatever it was, we were the tight knit group, and we never wavered. And I think if you ask any of those guys if to credit their success to something. I think they'd all say tie it back to Don Mills and just know how, you got to believe in each other. You got to believe in your teammates because, you can't do it without them. You can, like I said, you can have all the talent in the world, but if you're on a crappy team or if you're on a team that's not gelled very well, it's not going to get you very far. So I think that's something we all take away from that.
One of your goalies on that Don Mills teams is your current goalie in Barrie, Anson Thornton. Did he look a little bit different when you came back to Barrie this year? I know he wasn't on the team last year, but I'm pretty sure he was about 5'10", 135 pounds when you played with him in Don Mills, and he's a little bit bigger than that now.
Yeah, we joke about that sometimes. Yeah, I remember him being like kind of 5'10", kind of a smaller guy, but now he's filled out. He's like 6'4" now. He's towered over me. It's pretty funny, but yeah, that was a pretty quick spurt for him. But now he has he's signed with Arizona. He's been doing a lot of good things in his career, and so yeah, it's pretty special to be back with him. Me and him are really good friends, and I'm happy to be on this team with him. Happy to be going on this run with him. We have the utmost faith in him back there, holding it down for us. So yeah, it's really special that we got to be back together, and I'm really happy that we have such a talented goaltender backing us up.
Well, you got 11 games left in the regular season. What do the Barrie Colts need to do in these final 11 games to be ready for that hopefully long playoff run?
I think we just need to clean up, our overall play. I think we have been playing really well, but we've dropped a couple games to North Bay and Ottawa and Kitchener. These top teams that we want to show that, hey, when we can beat these top teams, and we haven't really we've definitely shown up for all the games against teams kind of below us in the standings, and games that I guess we should win, but we haven't beaten the top teams yet. So I don't think we line up against North Bay again, but we play Ottawa, we play London. I think those are the games we're gonna make a statement and be like, hey, we're a team not to mess with. We're a team that's just going to make a lot of noise in this playoffs. So I think those games we got it circled on our calendar that we want to bring our best. And I don't know. I feel like just our overall play can definitely pick it up a little bit. We're still doing we're producing a lot, but sometimes these last couple games have been really good for us. We've let up like under 20 shots in 3 games in a row, so we're taking steps in the right direction, but still just shutting guys down before they even get in the zone, making them dump pucks in more. So we have the puck on our stick more. I think that's with the speed that we have on our team, with the skill we have on our team, that's what we want. So it's coming along definitely. And like I said, we're peaking at the right time. So this is all it's all going right. But those big games against the top teams are going to be big for us, and just overall cleaning up our play and just being smoother on breakouts and winning more battles. It's gonna be big for us. And but I have the utmost faith that when the playoffs roll around, we're gonna be ready to go.
Awesome. Brandt, thank you for doing this. I'm going to let you go. I took up enough of your time today. Good luck this weekend. Hopefully you guys can keep pushing this win streak and keep climbing in the CHL top 10 rankings on your way to a long playoff run.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Selected in the 5th round of the 2021 NHL draft, Jacob Melanson is having a career year that started with the Acadie Bathurst Tetons before a late December trade sent him to the Western Conference leading Sherbrooke Phœnix. The 6-foot, 206-pound winger from Amherst, Nova Scotia is 7th in QMJHL scoring with 42 goals and 80 points in just 48 games. Let's hear from Jacob Melanson. With 17 goals and 36 points in 21 games, my next guest holds the longest active point streak in the CHL. From the 5th-ranked team in the Kia CHL top 10 rankings, the Sherbrooke Phœnix, it's Seattle Kraken prospect Jacob Melanson. Jacob, how you doing today?
I'm good. Pleasure to be here.
Good. It's been 21 games since you arrived in Sherbrooke. Yeah, like I said, at least a point in every game so far. The team's 18-2-1 in that stretch. What made the move from Bathurst to Sherbrooke so seemingly smooth for you?
No, there's a lot of good talent here. Obviously, like my lines mates like Joshua Wall, Jacob Brabenec, and before they got here, Ethan Gauthier and Justin Gill. So it was an easy transition playing with great players. So that always helps kind of chemistry when you're playing with good players. It's a little bit easier to adjust.
Yeah, how much easier is it when you guys are on a run that you are and you're performing the way that you are as well?
No, it definitely makes it easier when you're playing good hockey, and we have a lot of guys that have NHL experience being at camp, so we have a lot of older guys as well. So it really makes it fun just being around the guys and just bringing it every day.
You've been traded before a couple of years ago from Quebec to Bathurst. Did that experience help you with what to expect this time around?
No, definitely. You're kind of coming into a new team. Obviously, I knew a couple guys from playing with them recently, but it's obviously a tough challenge coming into a new team and new coaches, new everything. So, but everyone was very welcoming when I came here and very happy to have me. So makes the transition easy.
Who is the first guy on the team to reach out to you and welcome you?
I would say Marc-Andre Godet and Cole Huckins, both players I played with last year in Bathurst. So it's obviously great to be back playing with them.
What's been the biggest change since coming over? If it's an on ice thing, systems wise, or just off ice, adjusting to new area and new city and stuff like that.
No, obviously it's a little adjustment coming from in Bathurst. It was definitely a French community, but we had a lot of English speaking players, and coming here, it's a more French feel, but it's obviously they're all great. They speak English to you, and they're very welcoming, and obviously it's nice being able to see the city and kind of see new things that you don't usually see being from the Maritimes. And just I would just say the bond we have, all the players just being together a lot after even being away from the rink, we're always together. So it's really nice.
What types of things did you guys do off the ice to try to come together as like one unit, get to know each other a little bit more and just, become better friends and stuff?
I would just say like just the basic stuff, kind of go into the golf simulator once in a while, bowling and movie nights, and even going to play on an outdoor rink, just kind of being together. Like obviously when the good teams, you always hear after they win that it's not about one person, it's about the team and that they're all brothers. So that's what we're trying to build here. And to win a championship, you need that tight-knit group.
When Stefan Julien came back from the World Juniors with Gauthier and Hines, what was his message to you and kind of the expectations that the team has for you?
Obviously, they had high expectations with what I did in the first half, but obviously you want to have expectations on yourself. It helps you improve and perform at a higher standard. So they had high standards for me, and I feel like I came in here and I'm kind of showing them that they made the right decision in getting me at the trade deadline, and it's been great. Steph's helped me a lot in the last couple months, just helping with the new systems and just finding my way here.
Well, a couple weeks back, you were in Bathurst for the first time since the trade. I know you'd already played them once, but what was it like getting back to Bathurst and going into the visitors' room this time?
No, it's obviously when I first got traded there's a very welcoming organization, and they kind of led me to success through the last couple of years, and I couldn't thank them enough. And Sly Couturier, that's now gone, and Cape Breton, but they were just amazing to me. I had great friends there that I played with, great billets. So it was awesome to have that experience and be able to play there again and even score a goal. So it was awesome.
Yeah, 2 minutes into the game, scoring
Yeah.
that goal. How did it feel to get that one in the back of the net?
It was definitely a relief going in there. You don't want to get shut out, especially against them. So it was nice to be able to get that off my chest and just be able to play the rest of the game.
Did you give a little speech to the boys before that game or before the first time you faced them to try to get them a little bit more fired up too?
Yeah, no, everyone knew that it was a big game, especially for me, Huckins and Godet. We all want to beat them. So they were all pumped up, wanting to get the win for us. So it was awesome.
Well, like I've said a couple times, a point in every game so far with the Phœnix, a new franchise record, passing of all people, your line mate Joshua Waugh. Were you aware of the record before you broke it? And what did you and Josh say after you did?
No, obviously I was probably pretty close to it, but you never know. I didn't really know anything of it until I got the 20th one and broke it. I found out that night, but no, it's kind of funny being able to take it away from him. Obviously, he's a excellent player, is what he showed at the World Juniors and what he's doing this year. So it's obviously nice. It's a good compliment to me to be able to pass a guy like that, but it's just fun and games with him now.
Obviously, a career year for you right now. What kinds of things did you work on in the off season to take another step forward from your really good year last year as well?
Obviously, it's just a lot of skating work. I have a great power skating coach, Jessica Allen, back home. So we worked a lot on just kind of my edge work and getting the speed. Obviously, I'm a big guy, so I need to have as much acceleration and speed as I can to get out of corners and win puck battles.
And then going into Kraken camp this fall, before you got sent back to Bathurst, what was their message to you? What did they want to see you do this year before making the next step?
They just wanted me to keep progressing. They said every year if you make a little bit of improvement or a big improvement, it's all the same. Just keep getting better every year. It's going to help me in the future trying to crack the Kraken. And they just wanted me to keep we work a lot now with like my hitting and my hitting identity. So it's great. They're always there to help me. So it's an awesome organization.
Yeah, how often do they keep tabs on you, or do you reach out to them?
Most week we used to have a Zoom call every week, and they're just great to me being able to kind of show me what I need to work on and stuff like that. So it's great having the support there.
And seeing how good that organization is doing in the NHL this year, does it get a little bit more exciting knowing you're part of that organization?
No, exactly. Being a new organization is not always the easiest thing to kind of come out on top in the first couple of years, and they're doing a terrific job right now. So
Well, you touched on a little bit earlier with the amount of experience that you guys have. 7 NHL drafted guys. Gauthier expected to go in the first round this year. Gill and Waugh are 7, 8, 9 in Q scoring. How important, as we get closer to the playoffs, is it to have that depth and that experience in a lineup?
no, it's everything that you need. You need that experience to be able to carry a team through the playoffs. It's going to be a tough ride. There's a lot of heavy teams in this league right now, so it's going to be a battle to the end. And having that experience is just going to give us one notch up on other teams.
Does it take a little bit of pressure off of you knowing that if you're not going to perform one night, that somebody else is there to pick up the slack for you?
No, definitely. If we're not performing, we have the second and third line that are just as good as us. So it's nice to have that kind of depth in our lineup that if you're not performing, other guys can pick you up, and if they're not performing, you can pick them up as well.
And special teams, another huge thing especially in the playoffs, because scoring chances are always at a premium. So how important is it? You guys have the third best power play in the CHL behind Kamloops and Saskatoon. So obviously it's rolling, but how important is it to keep improving on that, knowing that chances are limited in the playoffs?
No, definitely. The special teams is the biggest thing in going into playoffs. You need special teams to win championships. So we need to keep improving on that stuff. And if we keep going with that, it's going to be a very successful playoff.
And you guys are a bit of an older team, and a big, strong back end as well. How nice is it? How much confidence do you have in both of your goalies, in Saint Hilaire and Olivier Adam, who had a huge February, but knowing that they're there just in case something happens up front, and you guys can rely on those guys?
No, they're both excellent goalies. They're both trustable goalies. If we need a big save, we know they're there for us. And our defensive core is we have 4 or 5 out of our top 6 signed, or 4 of them. So just having that depth in our D-core is huge.
You came from the Eastern Conference. It seems like in the Q this year, it's like a 4-headed monster right now. It's Quebec, it's Halifax, it's you guys and Gatineau really starting to pull away from the rest of the pack. So you came from the East, where you got to play against Quebec and Halifax a little bit more, and now you've got you guys haven't played Gatineau for a while, but you have 2 more games against them. How do Quebec and Halifax and Gatineau, how do they all kind of compare and similar, or how are they different?
No, they're all great teams. Obviously, they all have a lot of experience like us with the NHL, and it's just going to be a battle to the end. Obviously, like we have 2 big games against Gatineau coming up, so we need those points. And I would say this is one of since I've been in the Q, the 4 top teams I've seen so far.
Well, one of your former teammates is now on Gatineau, and Riley Kidney, and he's torching it right now as well. He's on a 17-game point streak with 46 points in that game. How much are you looking forward to facing him?
No, it's going to be awesome. We played the last 2 years with each other, and we have a lot of chemistry together, and it's just going to be fun to kind of see him on the other side this time.
What do you guys? How are you guys going to take those 2 games? As a test to get ready for the playoffs, and because they're on a 13-game win streak right now. You guys are unbeaten in 12.
No, it's going to be a battle, and we need to bring it like we do every game. It's no different than any other game. they're obviously a great team, but we have a great team as well. So we just need to play our way and not kind of let them take it over.
Well, what is the Sherbrooke Phœnix way this year?
I would just say it's a hard-nosed game. We have a lot of guys that can be physical and can play anywhere in the lineup. So I feel like we have a lot of depth in our physicality, and we play hard. It's never easy coming in here to play.
Well, last year when you were in Bathurst, you played with Liam and Riley Kidney.
Yeah.
This year in Sherbrooke, you're playing with Kalen and Ethan Gauthier. What's it like playing with brothers?
No, it's awesome. You obviously see the chemistry they have with each other, so it's pretty cool. Obviously, last year in exhibition, I got to play with Riley and Liam on the same line, so it was pretty cool being in that kind of a sandwich with them and just seeing how they interact every day. I don't have any siblings, so it's kind of cool to see the way they act with each other.
Now, brothers, I have a brother, and I've seen many other siblings together, and you get on each other's nerves. Have you ever seen them get on each
Yeah.
other's nerves and have to get boys? Let's separate here.
No, definitely. Obviously, you have those times when they get a little wild, but they're not too bad.
You guys have 11 games left in the regular season. What adjustments, what tweaks do you guys still have to make as you prepare for hopefully a long playoff run to a President's Cup and a Memorial Cup appearance?
We just need to work on being more consistent every game. Obviously, we're on a good win streak now, but there's some games we kind of let up on the gas. So we just need to learn how to play a full 60 in and out every game. And I feel like if we can get that down pat before playoffs, we're going to be a hard team to beat.
Are you a superstitious guy?
Not too superstitious, no, not really.
So talking about this streak that I've mentioned a bunch of times is not going to get in your head.
No, definitely not. No.
Okay, good. Good. All right. So this weekend you've got Charlottetown on Friday, Quebec, another big test on Saturday. What do you guys have to do in those two games to come out on the right side this weekend and head into the final home stretch?
Just need to keep playing hard. Obviously, Charlottetown is battling for a playoff spot right now. So they're going to come out hard and try to get those 2 points, which they need. So we just need to keep battling hard and kind of win tomorrow and kind of move into Saturday with a big team in Quebec, which big points there. So
is it nice to have a back-to-back at this time of year just to kind of get into that playoff mentality where you're going to have a lot of games in a short amount of time?
yeah, no, definitely. It's not the easiest thing to do playing 2 nights in a row, but it's obviously nice kind of learning how you need to play. The next day is always going to be a little bit harder on the body, so you just need to play a little bit simpler and kind of keep it easy.
Awesome. Jacob, thank you very much for doing this. Good luck in the rest of the way and hopefully a real long playoff run for you guys.
No, thank you for having me.